Get Macy's lowest prices of the season on furniture, mattresses, and rugs specials. Kick back on the Lily fabric sofa for $579. Sit down to the new Aberdeen 5-piece dining set, now $1,049. And stretch out on the Canyon Queen bed, just $339. Plus, get 50 to 60% off select Simmons and Sealy mattresses. Going on now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. I've got a great video you got to check out. It's on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. I fly a lot, so I love this little 4-year-old.
This 4-year-old's my hero.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I could be this 4-year-old.
Yeah, and it's we've talked about this before. I don't know why people take their shoes off. And a lot of times it's women, but I mean, I've had some dudes do it too, but a lot of times it's women taking their shoes off and they don't have socks on because they're wearing their shoes that they wear, which are open-toed or whatever.
Because I have no problem with taking the shoes off because, just to kind of get a little bit comfortable, but at least have socks on.
Yeah, if you got socks on, plus you keep it under your own seat, it should be okay.
I think I heard the reason is because a lot of people swell up when they're on planes, but at that point, buy some compression socks.
You could do that.
They're like $10 on Amazon. Go for it. Don't take your shoes off.
Or like BJ's I think you're about to say, is that if you're going to take your damn socks off, at least keep it where no one else sees your damn stupid feet.
Yeah.
Like, don't put it up on somebody's armrest.
Yeah.
Or I don't know where else.
And that's
where it would go on their foot.
And I guess they're elevating for the very reason Vicky says. Maybe it'll help them drain. But the thing is that, you know what? You're in my zone. Buy 2 seats if you got to. Buy the seat in front of you. I don't know. Go first class if you got to. But, I mean, this poor kid, I love this kid because there was a woman just putting her feet on his armrest. And he was complaining because he's 4. He's like, man, this woman's got stinky feet. And she said, what is she doing? And he started commenting on the smell. And, of course, like a good dad, his father recorded all this.
Nice.
And I love this kid. He poked his head through the opening and said, quote, why do you have your feet behind me? And you can hear the dad trying not to laugh when this whole thing is going down.
Stick your feet behind me. I think it's a lady. Why does somebody have my feet behind me? I thought you have your feet behind me.
That kid's awesome.
Yeah.
He's just like, the feet are stinky, lady. Why do you got your feet behind me? What is this about?
We should be able to tickle them.
Oh, yeah.
Mess with somebody's feet. If I don't want to touch their feet, though.
Yeah,
they should give you a feather. And then you can kind of tickle them with the feather.
Oh, so now, hey, I don't need a blanket. Do you have a feather that you can give me so I can...
Complimentary feathers for all first-class passengers.
Here you go, Steve. Here's your feather in case somebody puts their feet on your seat.
Someone wants to know, what about flip-flops?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. As long, I don't know why it doesn't bother me as much as when you take it off and just barefoot. You get the flip-flops on, at least there's something. There's a connection.
So Crocs are cool.
Crocs are fine.
No. Wait. Yeah, you already said it. No take backs. No take backs.
Normally, it's okay if they're, if they're on the ground or not in my area, fine. Mm-hmm. Do whatever you want with your feet. I mean,
do whatever you want with your feet.
I mean, I was flying back and a lady did that, took off her shoes, and there she was, her bare feet. And I'm like, well, at least they're on the ground, so the odor should be okay. And it was. I didn't catch anything, so I was like, all right, I can deal with this. But if you put him up by somebody's armrest, I mean, that's just wrong.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, it completely is. It's like, I'm not your ottoman. Get out of here. Hey, big news today, Steve. Well, not for you probably, but for the Vickies of the world. I think, Vicky, you're a Tetris fan, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought Tetris. You were, yeah.
I love Tetris, too.
I didn't know.
Yeah, Tetris is one of the games that I still play.
Well, how about it turns 35 today? Can you believe that? 35 years ago, Tetris was born.
I remember when it was I don't know if this is where it first debuted, but I remember it being on Nintendo.
Yeah, that was about 5 years later when the Nintendo version came out.
Like I felt like you were either a Tetris or a Legend of Zelda person.
Yeah,
definitely. It was like you were obsessed with one or the other. I was definitely a Tetris person. I thought Legend of Zelda was stupid.
See, I never got into Legend of Zelda.
Wow,
I would have liked
shots
it,
fired.
but I do love Tetris.
35 years later, hot take.
See, I played Tetris on my Game Boy Color.
Whoa.
So that was real cool technology, bro. And
yeah.
And then when the internet came around, I just started playing it online.
Yeah,
and I don't know if my wife has something that looks like Tetris, but it's not Tetris. But she plays it on her phone the whole time.
But it looks like Tetris.
It's
but
definitely
not.
It's inspired by Tetris.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, after 35 years, I bet anybody can make a Tetris-like game now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
it's relaxing sometimes just to sit there and just screw around on Tetris.
Do you remember the theme song?
Oh yeah,
yeah. The theme song's iconic. Yeah, buddy. Now the song, I think if people knew what the song was about, I don't know if they would dig it so much.
What's it about?
It's a Russian folk tune from the 1800s, and it actually does have lyrics. And the lyrics are basically about a peddler who seduces a young peasant girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Of all songs?
Of all songs.
Hey, peasant girl, come over.
Yeah. Well, now you're trying to fit blocks into certain ways. It sort of gives Tetris a whole different meaning.
We might be overthinking it, but yes.
Well, that's what the peddler was trying to think.
That is a weird choice to go with for a song.
Is.
You feel like, do you think the person who created Tetris didn't know the meaning behind the song?
That's a good question. I don't know. 1800s. I mean, I didn't know.
I would imagine they did. I mean, it was like made in Russia by the Russians. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know anything else about Tetris?
Absolutely.
Well, okay. It got its name from the Greek word tetra, which means four.
And so it's a Russian game, but named after something Greek.
Yes. And
the song is based off of
a peddler trying to seduce a young peasant girl.
It makes sense because all the little blocks only have 4 little squares on each of them.
Oh.
You guys ever noticed?
Oh. Yeah.
Deep.
Yeah.
Deep, bro.
And the guy who made it loved tennis. That's why the is on the end. So the tetra is for 4, and the is for his love for tennis.
Weird.
Tetris. Even though he's Russian. Because I don't know what the Russian word for tennis is, but you think he would have probably used a Russian word.
Tennis.
Oh, is that the Russian word for tennis? Okay. If it's love, it's love. All right. The guy who created Tetris didn't see any profits until the mid-'90s because the Soviet government owned the rights for the first 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, they were like printing money back then, too, because the game was so popular.
Well, that's what you get when you live in a country where they go, guess what? What's yours is mine. Yeah. It's the most ported game ever, meaning it's been on more systems than any other video game. Tetris, according to Guinness, put the number at 65 back in 2010.
Damn.
So man.
So more than Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah. And studies have shown that Tetris can increase the thickness of your cerebral cortex by 0.5 millimeter. I always said that Vicky was thick-headed. Now we know why.
Wow.
Oh. See? Vicky, all right. And they did a study this year that said Tetris, which we're talking about it so much because it turns 35 this year. Tetris actually, they say, can help people with PTSD.
Huh.
How about Tetris can be the thing?
I kind of get into like a little bit of a Zen mode when you play Tetris. It's not hard.
So. Yeah.
It doesn't really get you angry. I mean, you get kind of bummed when you get to that point where you're like, son of a. All right, I got to start over again.
Yeah.
But I never really get furious about the game.
I know I get mad at myself. Like when you've built everything, you're just waiting for the long piece to fit right in the middle, and then you mess it all up.
That long piece doesn't come up enough.
No, it doesn't.
It's on purpose.
That's what she said.
So there's that crooked one.
Yeah, and that's also what she said. Wow. And did you know there's a Tetris World Championship? They have it every year.
I did not know that.
And where do you think it happens?
I'm guessing Russia.
The Pacific Northwest, of course.
Really?
Yeah,
Tukwila.
Portland. Tukwila close, but they were busy this year, so Portland's got it this October.
Oh, I wonder if they have it at the A crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly where they have it. If you're trying to fit cubes into something. Mm-hmm. And, of course, it was also featured in the first episode of the season premiere of The Black Mirror.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was.
Ooh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Here's a fun little tidbit about Tetris by someone, and this is a really weird way for them to share the story. My grandma had a similar game. It was called Sextris. It was men and women nude and in similar shapes as Tetris. When you got the male and female to line up appropriately, those two would clear. Remember, this started with my grandma had this game.
Yeah, exactly. My grandma.
Sextris.
Okay.
Wow. I want to play it.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, Vicky found it.
Yeah, she did.
Nice.
She found that really quick.
Of course she did. If it's about sex, Vicky will find it. She knows how to find stuff on the internet when it comes to that. We got a dude that gave a great interview explaining how he won the $345 million Powerball lottery. You're going to hear that. Steve's got the Migs Report for you at 6:17.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
If you're hearing an informative newscast right now, well, then you must not be listening to BJ and Migs. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks to Snoqualmie Casino for giving us the Migs Report. And, we always have a silly day to celebrate today, but today is also D-Day, the 75th anniversary of D-Day, which is the big invasion that helped liberate Europe from the Nazis. And, obviously just a big day of remembrance as well. And one of the main reasons that led to us winning World War II. Yeah. D-Day. And then on the silly side, it's National Yo-Yo Day.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
I don't know. I just felt like playing a bunch of sound of Razor Ramon saying, hey, yo.
All right.
But I think it's more for the toy.
Yeah,
the yo-yo.
Yeah, walk the dog.
Walk the dog.
Go around the world. Do all that cool stuff.
Absolutely. Hey, yo. Let's talk about this guy who won $344 million in the Powerball jackpot. He's a guy from Carolina. He's 66 years old. His name is Charles. The story behind how he won this jackpot is insane, BJ. He got the numbers off of a fortune cookie that his granddaughter got at a restaurant. So he's like, we should play these numbers. He played the numbers. He won $344.6 million, took the lump sum of $223 million, cashed the ticket in on Tuesday. And the best part is the interview that he did with the media when he announced that he won the big jackpot. This guy is just the best. Here, check it out.
We always give her the fortune cookies. And I said, save the fortunes for me, and I can look at the numbers on the back of them. I want to play them, and that's where they came from. I didn't even know it till this morning. I didn't look at the tickets, and I don't have the TV, the news to tell me. I got back in there and looked, and I said, dang, I got them all. I don't know what to do with most of it. I hope it don't change me a lot, and I'm trying not to change my life. Like I said, I'm still going to wear my jeans, maybe newer ones. Me and my brother had a deal to give each other $1 million if we won the lottery, the big, and I called him a while ago when I got here. I said, are you ready to be a millionaire? He said, but I'm your only brother. Can't you give me $2 million?
Love that family. He might get some new jeans. He's giving his brother $1 million. His brother wants $2 million.
That is so funny.
Man, maybe we should start playing the fortune cookies.
I would never think to do it because I thought the odds would be it's already printed out. What are the chances that something will come out in this order again? And that happened. Wow. Good for that guy.
I'm curious what he ate at the restaurant as well.
Of course you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's winning the lottery right now is Toronto Raptors because of all the injuries with the Golden State Warriors. They're looking pretty damn good. They won yesterday. They're up 2-1 in the NBA Finals, beating the Warriors 123-109. Kevin Durant's out. A bunch of other players are now injured as well. But pretty exciting times for the Toronto Raptors. They could quite possibly win the championship, bringing a title to Canada for the first time.
Well, we Seahawk fans know what it's like because you have to be healthy. It's one thing to get there, but staying healthy is also what determines what can win a championship, and the Seahawk fans know about that.
Game 4 is on Friday, and also some fun stuff is going on with the Warriors because right before Game 3, Jimmy Kimmel, he does his he has a sidekick, Guillermo. Guillermo's kind of the guy who works in the building, and then he sends him out to do some interviews, talk to players, have some uncomfortable questions and things along those lines. Well, he did that before Game 3, a series of awkward questions, but the best question that he asked Warriors players because, they have a chance if they do win this series to three-peat. So he's asking them if they're excited about the thought of having a three-peat, but he was messing up the term, and he was calling it a threesome.
Oh, geez.
Just to see what kind of reaction he would get from some of the players. So here he is talking to one of the players of the Golden State Warriors, Alfonso McKinney, and his reaction.
Are you excited for have a threesome?
What?
Are you excited to have a threesome? You know when the team win 3 years in a row?
Three-peat.
Oh, it's a three-peat.
Three-peat. You said threesome.
Oh, it's not a threesome? I thought it was a threesome.
What is this guy talking about?
What is the difference?
Next question, man.
I'll come back.
Yeah, he was a little awkward.
Yeah.
But the best response came from the Golden State Warriors coach, Steve Kerr, who clearly has a great sense of humor. Here's his response to the question.
Are you excited for a threesome?
For what?
For a threesome? 3 years in a row?
Oh, yeah, three-peat. Three-peat. Yeah. But I'd be excited for either one.
Steve Kerr. Steve. We're learning a little bit about you right there. We learned a little bit about Paul Pierce last night during the NBA Finals coverage on ESPN. He was part of the broadcast team, and they brought up the fact that this was the anniversary of, I guess, back in 2008. He had to leave a game in the NBA Finals in a wheelchair, and they finally got to the bottom of it. And the problem with him was he had to go to the bathroom really bad, and he couldn't walk. So they had to wheel him out on a wheelchair because he had to go number 2.
Oh, damn.
I know how that is.
We saw you do it here with one of our rolling chairs. Here he is talking to the broadcast team about that incident that happened back in 2008.
Paul here, 11 years ago today, wheelchaired off the floor for reasons he will keep to himself.
I have a confession to make. Whoa. I just had to go to a bathroom.
Another one or
I had to go
two?
to the bathroom.
But why did you need a wheelchair to get to the bathroom?
It was something went down. I had to go to the bathroom. You were streaking?
Okay, anywho, injuries. Injuries are the story of tonight. Real injuries, by the way.
I love it. The guys are like, you were duking?
Yeah.
You were streaking?
Yeah, that's delightful.
The deuce.
Yeah, Pierce is the deuce.
Hey.
Yeah?
The Mariners won yesterday, boys.
Yeah, it's now time.
What the F?
Yeah, and we won in a big way, buddy.
Dude, in very convincing form. In fact,
Astros.
Pretty big performance by our friend.
I wonder what happened to him.
Well, he had a big 3-run homer in the 6th, capping off a 7-run 6th inning for the Mariners. They beat the Astros, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Beat the Astros 14-1.
That was a beating, man.
14-1.
Yeah, well, every once in a while it's going to happen.
And a great performance from Mike Leake, which, I mean, he didn't really need that great of a performance when you win 14-1, but he did. So that was nice. Maybe they could do a couple of those kind of games every once in a while. Keep us excited about the future.
Well, it reminds you of April.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of team they were in April.
Yeah. I hope that it continues. I don't know if it will, but...
Are you back on the bandwagon yet?
Yeah.
He's back.
Let's go. It's go time. There's plenty of games left in the season.
That's it.
Today at 12:40, the winning ways continue.
Woo!
As they continue to take on the Houston Astros.
That's it.
Sounders lost yesterday to Montreal Impact 2-1.
Oh, yeah.
NHL Game 5, Stanley Cup Finals is tonight. Your Boston Bruins are taking on the St. Louis Blues. That series is tied at 2 games apiece, so we'll see what happens.
Well, my luck is that when I watch the game, they lose, so I don't plan on watching.
You want to watch it later?
I'm not going to do it.
Come on, man. We'll go to the Angry Beaver.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind going to the Angry Beaver, but I'm going to watch it on my phone. Like, I'm just going to keep updated.
Speaking of hockey, some exciting times. Shout out to our friend Jamie Huscroft, former Boston Bruin. He played with a bunch of teams. He also is a part of Snow King Hockey here in town, and they have a couple of ice rinks, one in Kirkland, one in Renton, and very soon they're going to have another rink by the Snoqualmie Ridge. They're building a 2-sheet facility. It's going to serve the east side. That's pretty exciting. I think it's going to be done hopefully by right around the time that the team starts, the NHL franchise, 2020.
Big deal. That's a big joint.
Yeah, dude. It's just, that's what happens when an NHL team comes. Cities just grow with hockey. In fact, they said when Las Vegas got a team, hockey, granted, there was probably not a lot of people playing hockey in Las Vegas, a little bit, but not anything big, but it grew by 61%.
Whoa.
So already in the Northwest, they have great youth hockey, rec leagues as well. I wouldn't be surprised that it's going to just blow up once we have an NHL franchise, and that's what's going on, is that they're getting ready for it.
Nice.
So a bunch of sheets of ice are going to start showing up all around the Northwest. As far as weather, 61 degrees and rain, and thank you, Car Toys, for giving us the Migs Report.
Yeah, man. So it's pretty cool.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome. I was thinking about last night's basketball game. I mean, boy, how about you? If you told me that Stephen Curry's going to score a skillion points, and they would lose, I mean, he had a great game.
He did,
yeah, and still the Warriors got their asses kicked.
Oh man, I'm pumped for Canada.
Yeah, why
it's
not?
just kind of cool that there's never been a Canadian franchise win the NBA championship.
And but I do feel badly for the Warriors, because to have a three-peat in this era of, salary cap sports is pretty impressive. But again, that injury bug, dude, it's an amazing thing with sports. Injuries are what really do keep teams from excelling sometimes, not the lack of talent.
So I said, did you hear about the 97-year-old airborne trooper that went skydiving in France today in honor of D-Day's 75th anniversary? What a badass.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That was really cool.
Yeah. It is a big day, obviously, D-Day. I mean, we know the really, I mean, if you have anybody who's in their 90s or anybody that at least remembers and had conversations with folks that were there, we just don't understand it. We just don't understand how the world was on the brink of disaster, and that day was a huge day.
The dude is from San Diego. His name is Tom Rice, 97 years old.
Yeah.
He did this back in 1944 as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, in 1944, you had to.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just cool that he did it back then and he's doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, you know, it's guys like him and, of course, the people that didn't come back that we owe a lot to. Because we get to be stupid idiots on the radio because of those fine Americans that served in those times. And we just forget that. A lot of people have given the ultimate sacrifice so that we can be the country we are.
It's so cool. I just watched the footage. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. He's got the nice American flag parachute.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yesterday, Steve wasn't able to figure this one out.
Kazakhstan is located on which continent?
Boratsville.
No.
Oh. Slapistan.
No.
Australia.
No.
Yeah. The correct answer, Steve, actually, because you know. Well, at least you got one continent with Australia. You got that right. But I think you probably thought that was a country, too, because it is. Asia is what we're looking for. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Biggs at 647 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I have lots of tickets that I haven't paid. Can those be discharged through a bankruptcy?
Yes, there are some limits on what we can do with tickets. Tickets cannot be discharged in a full bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 case, that won't help you get your license back. But in Chapter 13 reorganization, tickets are dischargeable. Most types of tickets are dischargeable. So you would have to pay back some of the tickets in a Chapter 13 case, but the vast majority of them could be discharged if you complete the plan. And again, you would get your license back right away when you filed the Chapter 13 case, as long as the only reason you don't have your license is because of failure to pay your tickets. But the Chapter 13 process will help you get your license back and repay a small portion of your tickets in most cases and get your license reinstated almost immediately.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
Take back your space. Stop storing old electronics you'll never use again. Recycle your computers, monitors, and televisions for free with eCycle Washington. This free program can be used by households, small businesses, public schools, and other organizations across the state. Drop off unwanted TVs, computers, and monitors at over 300 locations in Washington state for free. Please check for the drop-off location nearest you at eCycleWashington.org. That's one word, eCycleWashington.org, and click on the Where Can I Recycle link.